Hello friends, welcome to the shop. One of the first projects and the genesis of the Garage Woodworker was this bench that I built early on the channel, and if you remember, it has two extendable legs, but it was not very friendly to people that might have limited mobility. So I was looking for ways to improve it, and as you can see right now, the legs are up, but the bench is also up. The reason for that is that I altered the bench so a single person, even in a seated position, can actually open and close it, as you can see. So even if a person was in a wheelchair or did not have the stamina, he will not have to exert a lot of effort to open and close this bench. So today we're going to show you exactly how we did this build. I hope you will enjoy this video. I already have cut some 2x4s and now I'm simply marking them for the modification we're going to do. I always believe that it is best to use the work itself rather than measure. It gives you more consistent results and you do not have to depend on measuring mistakes. Dry fitting is always a great idea, and I do it in all my projects. Putting the pieces together there so I can see what they look like and make sure I don't need to modify any of my original ideas is crucial in having a successful final product. In this specific case, the two pieces I'm going to build are identical, so I'm checking that the pieces of wood are of the same length so I can ensure that there will be no mistakes for the final project. As you can see, the boards there are the same. The piece of wood that I put there in the end ensures that I take into account the 2x4 that is attaching the bench to the wall, so my piece will not extend beyond the edge of the bench. So it's very important to look at those details, and what I'm doing here is I'm marking the 2x4 pieces as wall and top, so when I assemble them I will know which one is which because they are two different lengths. Glue is always your friend, and in this kind of connection I do like to use a lot of glue, and of course, as you know, I use brad nails a lot. Here, because this is a 90-degree angle, I use my trusty square to ensure that my angle is perfect. And of course, after I glue, a very quick tacking makes sure that the two pieces stay together before I actually use screws. Pilot holes are important because we are very close to the edge of one board and we are drilling into the other, and pilot holes are important to avoid any splitting of the wood. As you can see, because we use brads, the corner has not moved at all, which makes screwing the screws very easy and eliminates the possibility of the boards moving and thus making mistakes that will influence your final product. I leave the square on the bench for my second piece. Again, this is a little repetitive, but it is important to see the flow of work, because when you are doing something like this, it is a good practice to do it one after the other, so the project moves along at a certain pace and you will not forget a step. I don't believe you can put too much glue, and I'm very liberal with the application of the glue. Again, as you can see, the bench is constructed to be the right height for me, so you might want to consider how high you want your own bench when you build it. This gun, this Ryobi, has been invaluable to me ever since I bought it. I think I've used it in every project I've built. Since I put 3 screws in every joint, I am making 3 pilot holes, and I think 3 screws are probably a little overdoing it, but I rather overbuild than overbuild. I do not want this bench folding on me. And once I get the square, make sure that I have a perfect 90-degree angle on my second brace. Now we need to the trickiest part, the one that will have the 45 degrees, which will create the brace and actually will hold the majority of the weight that will be on the bench. Instead of depend on a 45-degree measurement, I'm just marking it with my pencil by putting it on the 90 that I've already created. Again, I much rather do the things this way because any abnormalities or imperfections on the wood will allow to be transferred in the cut and not result in a mistake. The marks that you saw me making were 1, 1, 1, and on the second one 2, 2, 2. So I will match the correct 45 to the correct 90 degree, because again, wood is not perfect and those imperfections will transfer, and I want the pieces to be exactly right. Taking a little time here pays great dividends, and you just saw me marking the second one with a 2. Now we're on the trickiest cut of the whole build, and that is the 245 degrees. And because we're connecting 2 90s with the 45, those 45s have to be opposing of each other, as you're going to see here. I first move my saw to approximate, and then I make sure it is correct. Unfortunately, my saw cannot cut through the whole width of the board, so I'm finishing the cut using my Japanese hand saw, which is one of my favorite hand tools. To do the second cut, we have to turn the saw the other direction, as you see. And using a clamp allow me to keep the board exactly where I want it, since I don't have a helper today. Once again, I have to use my Japanese hand saw because my saw cannot go fully through the board. A dry fitting again to make sure that everything goes together as I want it, and it does. So since I'm satisfied, I got my glue, and I'm going to glue both 45s to ensure that we're going to have a good connection. And here is where the Ryobi staple gun becomes invaluable. It will hold the pieces in the right spot until I finish drilling pilot holes and using the screws. I'm not depending at all on those staples, however, for strength. It is the glue and the screws that will carry the weight of the bench and whatever is on the bench. Again, this is the second one, and the process is identical. 2 staples are enough to hold it in place. and pilot holes are important, especially on 45 degrees. So the screw, when you start screwing it, will not push the board away, but because the pilot hole goes through the second board, it will help you make it tight rather than pushing it away as you're trying to screw in it. And we are almost about done with this modification. As soon as we put the screws on the second piece. Again, everything that I needed here was a couple of 2x4s, so this modification did not cost me but about $8.50, not including the screws. Notice how I'm not holding the trigger constant, but I press it and release it. That allows better control of the screw, prevents the screw from stripping, and actually allows you to enter the screw much quicker into the wood. I'm using my Ryobi to make the pilot holes and my rigid to drive the screws. Now the rigid is actually an impact driver and makes putting screws on extremely easy. And we're about done with the braces. As you can see, the bench is fully extended now and it's resting solely on these pivoting extensions. As you can see, I have used hinges on two spots screwed on. You can see we have those blocks on both sides, and it is important that you put them in a way that when you close the, how you want to call those, not gates, the supports, they clear the support in the back. This was a fairly inexpensive modification, and I frankly like how the legs have really gone away and we have a much better bench than we did before. In part 2 of the video I'm going to make some slight modifications. I will remove the old legs that you see there, and also I will add an articulated middle support that will make this even more sturdy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This bench has helped me through every project that I have filmed and shared with you, and I really love it. A lot of people actually seem to have copied this idea. This has been my most popular build, has over 70,000 views right now, and I think this latest iteration makes it even more useful because there are no legs here to worry about, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to remove the legs or I'm going to leave them there for extra strength if I need it. This is pretty strong right now, and I don't think that strength is an issue. So if you like this video, if you like these modifications, if you like the work we do here at the Garage Woodworker, please smack the like button. If you don't, the other button works as well. Please subscribe to our channel to support our efforts, comment to be part of the community, and I will see you with another build next week.